Detailed report on Asia's dynamic growth and challenges 2023. Asia and the Pacific is a dynamic region that contributes about 70% of global growth. However, the region also faces many challenges, such as persistent inflation, high public debt, financial vulnerabilities, and geopolitical tensions. In this report, we will analyze the main drivers and risks of Asia's economic outlook for 2023, based on the latest data and projections from various sources. 1. China's reopening boosts regional growth. China is expected to be the main engine of growth for the region in 2023, as it recovers from the pandemic and reopens its economy. The International Monetary Fund, IMF, projects that China's growth will accelerate to 6.5% in 2023, up from 5.8% in 2022. China's reopening will have positive spillovers for the rest of the region, especially for its trading partners and commodity exporters. According to the World Bank, China's demand for consumption goods will have a bigger impact than its demand for investment goods, reflecting a shift in its growth model. However, China also faces some challenges that could weigh on its growth prospects. One is the high level of corporate debt, especially in sectors such as property, which could pose financial stability risks. Another is the environmental and social costs of rapid growth, which could require more policy interventions and regulations. A third is the potential escalation of trade and geopolitical tensions with the United States and other countries, which could disrupt global supply chains and markets. 2. Other emerging economies enjoy solid growth, but at a slower pace. Other emerging economies in the region are also expected to enjoy solid growth in 2023, but at a slightly slower pace than in 2022. The IMF forecasts that emerging Asia's growth will moderate to 4.6% in 2023, down from 5.1% in 2022. The main reasons for this slowdown are the tightening of monetary policy to contain inflation, the weakening of external demand for exports, and the fading of fiscal stimulus measures. Among the major economies in the region, India is projected to grow by 7% in 2023, down from 9.5% in 2022, as it faces structural bottlenecks and supply-side constraints. Indonesia is expected to grow by 4.8% in 2023, down from 5% in 2022, as it deals with high inflation and fiscal consolidation. The Philippines is forecasted to grow by 6% in 2023, down from 6.5% in 2022, as it recovers from natural disasters and political uncertainty. Vietnam is anticipated to grow by 6.5% in 2023, down from 7% in 2022, as it faces labor shortages and environmental issues. 3. Inflation remains a key challenge for policymakers. Inflation remains a key challenge for policymakers in the region, as it stays above central banks' targets. The IMF estimates that headline inflation for emerging Asia will average 4% in 2023, up from 3.8% in 2022. Core inflation, which excludes food and energy prices, will also remain elevated at 3.4% in 2023, up from 3.2% in 2022. The main drivers of inflation are the narrowing or closing of output gaps, the pass-through of currency depreciation to domestic prices, and the persistence of supply chain disruptions and commodity price shocks. These factors suggest that inflationary pressures are not transitory and require more monetary tightening to anchor inflation expectations. However, monetary policy also faces some trade-offs and constraints. On one hand, raising interest rates too much could hurt growth and financial stability, especially for countries with high debt levels and external financing needs. On the other hand, keeping interest rates too low could fuel asset bubbles and capital outflows, especially if global financial conditions tighten further. 4. Financial vulnerabilities pose contagion risks. Financial vulnerabilities pose another challenge for the region, as they could trigger contagion risks from external shocks or domestic shocks. The recent turbulence in some U.S. and European banks serves as a reminder of how global financial markets are interconnected and how banking strains can spread across borders. Similarly, banks in Asia, particularly in advanced economies, could suffer losses from increases in wholesale funding costs and sudden declines in the market values of assets. Lenders in some emerging economies could face liquidity stresses following sudden deposit withdrawals or retrenchment in external funding lines. Some countries and sectors are also significantly exposed to a sharp increase in external borrowing costs or a reversal of capital flows. Corporate debt has increased even before the pandemic and is concentrated in firms at risk of insolvency and in a few sectors such as property. Domestic vulnerabilities are also evident in some countries where credit growth has outpaced GDP growth or where non-performing loans have risen due to the pandemic. 5. Conclusion. Asia and the Pacific remains a dynamic region with strong growth prospects for 2023. However, the region also faces many challenges that require careful policy management and coordination. Policymakers need to balance between supporting growth and containing inflation, between maintaining financial stability and fostering financial inclusion, between promoting trade openness and diversification, and between enhancing regional cooperation and addressing geopolitical tensions. Thanks for watching the video. Kindly like, share and subscribe the channel.